And speaking of things that need a closer look, let me show you some satellite photographs. What do you see here? A town. That's right, it is a Chinese town, Kunming. This is where it is located, in the Yunnan province. Let's go back to the photo. Do you see a crowd on the left side of your screen? These people have gathered around a funeral home. They are here to bid goodbye to their loved ones. It's hard to say how many of them died because of the Wuhan virus, but a lot of them clearly did. And I will tell you why I say so. Because experts compared this satellite image to the ones taken previously of this same space, and they found the crowd to be unusual. It just so happens that the increase in the number of people around the funeral homes coincides with the rise in the Wuhan virus cases in China. It is a wave that China denies. But pictures here are speaking for themselves. Let me show you a fresh set. These are images of a funeral home located in Beijing's outskirts. This one was taken on the 6th of December 2022. And this one on the 24th of December. Do you see a difference here? The funeral home has an extended parking lot. What for, you wonder? To make space for the incoming traffic, of course. And these are photos from Nanjing in Jiangsu province. On the 9th of November 2022, this funeral home's parking lot was empty. But on the 3rd of January, it was crowded. It so happens the crowd coincided with China's desperation to hide an outbreak. This is a funeral home in the Zhejiang province, and again you see a similar trend. In January 2021, the parking lot was empty. Cut to January 2023, it's a full house. There are similar photographs from Sichuan, Hebei. These images tell the story that China has been trying to hide. It's a story of deaths, COVID-19 chaos, and lies. China says only 37 people have died of the Wuhan virus since the 7th of December, and 5,000 have died since the beginning of the pandemic. For some reason, China expects us to believe that number. At WION, we know better. We have been telling you stories from Shanghai, where 70% of the residents are reportedly infected. We also told you about Henan, where 90% of the residents are supposedly down with the Wuhan virus. Analysts believe that the COVID-19 wave is now moving away from Chinese cities and it is moving towards the rural areas. The part of China where factory workers and laborers returned following the outbreak of the Wuhan virus. Reports say the rural areas are a mess. People are rushing to the healthcare centers, but the clinics and hospitals are understaffed. There aren't enough resources and doctors are being forced to work for 14 hours a day. The head of a clinic told the media that the medicine supply is depleted to the extent that the clinic has had to suspend the prescription. A doctor says the waiting rooms are full and Wuhan virus patients are being forced to line up outside the medical facilities. It is a double whammy, really. There is the Wuhan virus, and there isn't enough resource to fight it. The elderly are being hit the hardest. One village doctor said that he alone knows 50 people in his village who have died since the start of December. Yet, China maintains the death toll since December is 37. It would have been funny had it not been so tragic. China needs to stop cooking stories and start focusing on the crisis at home. It should at least try to address the problem. Instead, it is bullying neighbors in its spare time. China has stopped issuing short-term visas to South Koreans and the Japanese. We told you about this yesterday, how the move was in retaliation to the two countries stepping up border controls to ensure that the infected Chinese tourists are not given a free run in the country. And now, South Korea has called the Chinese punitive measures, quote-unquote, significantly regrettable. Seoul also asked China to align its pandemic steps with scientific and objective facts. Well, if you ask me, this is asking too much of China. Let's look at how the Japanese responded to the visa ban. Tokyo calls the Chinese move one-sided because China is banning entry for the Japanese on non-COVID grounds.
It's very regrettable that China has unilaterally taken visa suspension action for reasons beyond virus control. We have lodged a protest to China through our diplomatic channel and asked them to lift visa suspension. Our country will monitor the COVID-19 situation in China and its information disclosure and will respond appropriately.
And as the war of words plays out, the WHO, that we lovingly call the China Health Organization, has asked the travelers to guard up and mask up. Is this the WHO putting its weight behind what we have been saying for weeks now? The reopening of the Chinese border has risked a reinfection, that Chinese travelers have become a threat to others taking a flight, that China has put tourists around the world at risk. Yesterday, we told you why you should cancel or postpone your trip to Thailand. And here's an update to that story. Did you know Thailand sent 3 ministers to Bangkok's airport to welcome passengers of the first Chinese flight? It's unheard of. Basically, Thailand is rolling out the red carpet for the Chinese tourists to come infect the people of Thailand and everyone else visiting the country. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.